Yo, YouTube, welcome back to the channel, and today's video is going to be a bit of a different one. And what we're going to be doing is going through and kind of just ranking all the SMGs in multiplayer from my experience, specifically for pub stomping. Then we're going to just go through, show you guys a setup, the build we're running with, why we're running those attachments, and yeah, just thought I'd be doing this for every class. I did get diamonds. I thought, why not, start with the SMGs, then we'll move on to the AR. Starting off with the order, let's go down to up and explain my thought process. Starting off with number 6 is going to be the Saug. Now, you guys are probably noticing we're missing one SMG. And that's because unfortunately I prestige and I haven't got access to this just yet. I think the compact, just to start off, if I was to put it in, it's actually a pretty good gun. I would probably have it at number 4, just on top of the Jackal. I feel like it would be around there. It's a really strong gun, but we'll kind of get into that at the end and kind of go through the thought process. But let's just start off with the list here. So I want you guys to take compact out of your list, and these are the 6 we're left with. Now, the Saug, it's a very fun gun. I use it in rank play. It's a very strong gun. I don't think it's the worst SMG. The reason why it's the bottom of my list is because this is specifically for pub stomping, okay? So it's not based on stats or anything like that. It's just for pub stomping in my experience. And I feel like with a Saug, it's very situational. It's really, really good close range. Really, really good close range. You've got high fire rate, very, very strong. But like I said, very situational, okay? Now, I decided to go for this build on there. As you can see, we don't have a suppressor. Now, the reason I'm going to mention this is, for me personally, weapons with a suppressor are really, really good in pubs. I think they're the number one attachment you need. However, some weapons I've realized they're not that good with a suppressor because it makes the recoil go up a lot, and just overall they don't feel good with a suppressor. When you go on the other side of like the C9, that feels really good with a suppressor. That's why it's at the top of my list, okay? So starting off with the Saug, I don't like the suppressor on there, which makes it go a little bit lower, and then it's very situational. So one, I don't like the suppressor on there. I feel like with the suppressor, just the recoil goes kind of everywhere. I prefer the compensator on there, just feels a bit more balanced. This weapon is just very high recoil as it is, and I'm just not a fan of it with a suppressor. I'm really not. I feel like it shakes everywhere. It doesn't do a good job medium range. It's just a very situational gun. In rank play, I'm a big fan of it. I love using it in rank play because I can use it close combat and win those gunfights. But for multiplayer, I'm really just not a big fan of it. I guess you could put the ported on, but for now, this is why I go with the compensator, the long barrel, the ranger, extended mags 1. Again, I think you do need gunfighter on this one because there's certain attachments, like I definitely think you need extended mag, so you do need gunfighter because again, you just need the rest of it. Ergonomic grip, balance stock, steady aim, and recoil springs. So I think it's a good SMG. Like I said, very situational. That goes on the bottom of my list. Then we go through to number 5. Now, this one is my first nuke. I got my first nuke with this weapon. I think it's a very good weapon, and there's a few different attachments. So I have actually put a suppressor on this. However, again, I don't think it's that good with a suppressor. It feels okay with it, but honestly, this one could be quite high on my list. It's actually a really fun SMG. It's a very weird one. It's very, very strong SMG, but it's just got a low fire rate. But what I realized is I put rapid fire on it and it feels pretty good. So I tried making this a bit more of a faster build again. So I put it as number 5, simply just because I feel like the other ones are a bit more balanced. I can use them at like closer to medium range, where the Tanto and the Saug, really strong, but I can only use them close range. So that's why they go a little bit lower on my list. But if you guys are looking for like a close range build, then the list changed a little bit. So I just wanted to make that clear. It's not that they're not good guns, but just for me, for overall pub stomping and like, a 6v6 game mode, I just feel like the rest have a little bit more balance, where these two are very situational and only usable at close range in my opinion. But here's the build. You can see a little bit different. You could low-key go with a sight. I did try a sight on this, and I don't know, it feels nice with a sight. Like I said, it feels very, very strong. So if you want, you can go with a sight on there. I would probably get rid of like the steady aim, so we can do that for now. But I was okay with the iron sight. I didn't really mind the iron sight. And then we go through the suppressor. Again, I don't love it with the suppressor, so you could even go with the compensator here. But the reason I'm going with suppressor is because I got the no stock and the rapid fire. And this is really just trying to get in their spawn, be annoying, and like spawn trap them and stuff. So I feel like the suppressor was a bit more needed. With the Saug, it's very similar. I think the suppressor is needed, but it's just not good with the suppressor. The only reason the Tanto is different is because of how strong it is and how slow it fires. It's not as difficult to control the recoil with a suppressor, and that's why it goes above the Saug. With the Saug, because of how fast it shoots, with a suppressor, the recoil's hard to control. But with the Tanto, with a suppressor, it's still okay. So we've got suppressor, long barrel, ranger 4 grip, extended mags 1. Again, even the extended mags here, I just feel like it's nice to have. You don't actually need it because it's actually not, it's got like 30 bullets, I believe, like normal. And it's not too bad because it's such a slow firing weapon. So you could get away with 5 attachments if you wanted to. We could just get rid of maybe like, I don't know, long barrel? Nah, not even long barrel. What would we get rid of? Low-key, maybe the no stock. If you wanted to run 5 attachments, something like this, I guess would be okay if you want to go for the rapid fire build. But for now, while we have, the 8 attachments, we're going to go with that. We're going to go with the no stock, and we're going to go with the laser. So like I mentioned, we've got extended mags 1, ergonomic grip, then we've got the no stock, steady aim, and the rapid fire. So like I said, with the rapid fire, you get insane fire rate, you lose your range, you lose your recoil control. So that's why I think it's nice to have, you know, other stuff on there. And that's the only reason why I thought maybe, you know, compensate over the suppressor. But you could try around this. Like I said, very, very close range build. If you wanted to, you could go for the infiltrator or the balance. I normally go for that. But for this one, because it's really close range, I wanted to try the no stock, and it felt pretty smooth, felt pretty nice. So that's what we're going with. Then we go through, and you can see the attachments and sorry, the perks and everything exactly the same. We run Ghost, Fast Hands, and Double Time. Then we go through to our next one is a Jackal. I use this in rank play, one of my favorite weapons. You can see from the eliminations, we've been shooting a lot with this. However, in multiplayer, it's good. It's just not the top 3 in my opinion. Once again, I need a suppressor on my weapons, and this one, it just doesn't feel good with it. It feels terrible. With a suppressor, it feels really, really bad. The recoil's all over the place. That's why we go with the compensator. Then we go with the long barrel. Ranger foregrip, extended mags, ergonomic, infiltrator, steady aim, and recoil springs. Like I said, this weapon is very, very good. It actually feels nice at short to medium range. The only reason it falls a little bit out of the top 3 is literally down to that suppressor. I think the top 3, having a suppressor, for me personally, I know it's such a weird thing, but it just makes such a difference. So it's number 4, really balanced, and it does fit that short to medium range. It's a very good weapon, but when I'm pub stomping, it doesn't make my top 3. Then we go through to the PP9. Now this one's interesting. The reason it makes my top 3, I think the Jackal and the people were very close. The reason why it gets in over that is 2 things, okay? 1, it can run a suppressor, and I think it's actually okay with a suppressor. 2, we don't need extended mags. The bullets itself is crazy. 64 bullets on a normal PP is insane. So for me, the fact that you don't need extended mags, I then didn't need to make gunfire. I then don't need a laser and a sight. I was like, you know what? I can then run perk greed. And I think perk greed is so important because I can run flak jacket. If you want, you could run even dexterity. You could run ninja. You can run whatever you want. But I just think it's nice the fact that I don't need gunfire. I think for every other class, I kind of need gunfire besides the PP because of how much bullets it has. That's why it makes my top 3, because it's got a silencer. It's got a decent TTK, eye bullets. Very, very happy with the way the weapon feels. And that's the build we go with. We go with the suppressor. Probably go with the long barrel there as well. Ergonomic, balance, and recoil springs. You see a lot of these attachments are very similar. I think they're just important attachments to have on your SMG. Then we go through to number 2. It's the KSV. This one just feels really strong. This one feels really nice. It's mobile, it's strong, it's good at medium range, it's good at close range. It actually does its thing. You know, you got high strength on it. It's just a really nice balanced SMG. It's like a pocket AR, and I just think overall it's a very, very solid weapon. Now, we don't actually have a suppressor on this one. I was just testing it out, but you can put a suppressor and it feels fine as well. So we'll keep the suppressor on. We got the long barrel, Ranger foregrip. I don't know why I had flip mags. I think we're just trying it out. I would normally just keep extended mags on, to be honest, but you can keep flip mags on. It's up to you. Ergonomic, balance, steady, and recoil. So like I said, they're all very similar in terms of the actual attachments you use. Just the way the game is, because there's not that many attachments anymore. I feel like you use the same ones most of the time, unless you want a different just an output, but for me, I use basically the similar ones. Then we go through to, for my opinion, my favorite one. Now, this isn't amazing at mid to long range. It's really good at short range, but it can still do its thing mid range. But for me, it's just, the C9 just feels so good. Every time I use it, I don't know what it is, but like the recoil is so easy to control. It's so smooth, like at mid range, but it shouldn't be, because I have not a lot of like recoil attachments on it. Like when I was using it without it, it just feels so good. So for me, the C9 is a perfect balance between movement, just the shot, the finesse, the bullet. Just, it feels really, really, really nice. They did a great job with the C9, the MP5. Suppressor, to start with that one off with, we got a nice little suppressor going through. Then we have the barrel as a long barrel, Ranger, extended mags, ergonomic, balance, steady aim, and recoil springs. So overall, like I said, I feel like a few things we can change around. I think the Jackal, you can definitely maybe move up a little bit. I do like the Jackal. I only go with the PP because I don't need to run gunfire, and I run the suppressor and it feels good. But I think I could change these two. I think I could change these two. KSV and the C9, I just feel like are both really strong, really balanced. The KSV, I would say, is a little bit more balanced at mid-range, but the C9 for me, I love the mobility of it. I love the feel. When I'm spawn trapping with the C9, it's my favorite weapon. Again, the Saug is really good, really situational, but I think the difference between the C9 and the Saug is the Saug's really good close range as well, but you can't really do anything that mid-range. But with the C9, I feel like even if I'm mid-range, I can kind of bail myself out, make some plays and get out of there. With the Saug, I feel very, very useless at any mid-range. Then we go through to the Tanto, just another situational weapon. I think you can make this build pretty good as well, to be fair, but I just feel like there's so many good SMGs. I leave that as number 5 for now, but it's definitely the most unique SMG with the way it kind of plays. It's like a very, very slow SMG. Some people don't like it. I personally like it. I think it's very strong, but it just goes in number 5. If I had the compact, I haven't used this one enough to know where it would go in the list, but I actually don't know. I don't really know. We'll keep the compact off for now until we kind of unlock it again and give it a try, because I've not used it for like a prestige. But yeah, that's going to be my list today. Probably not fan favorite. I don't know. Some of you guys might agree, some of you guys might not. To be honest, I'm looking through and I can definitely change this list. Like, it's definitely interchangeable. When I just thought about it, I didn't really give it too much thought. I kind of just went with my gut in the moment, and this is what I came up with. But you could definitely have an argument for different SMGs. Like I said, these two, a little bit one-dimensional. Put them there. Jackal and PP, I reckon we could switch, and then the top two, I reckon you could switch as well. But it's personal preference. I'm a big fan of the C9. I think it's just an iron sight as well. Just having the MP5, like, it's always been a fan favorite. It's always been one of my favorites, and that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tomorrow we will probably make a video on the ARs and kind of give my thoughts on the best ARs. And yeah, let me know what you guys want to see next time, and I'll catch you guys then. Peace.